Ladies and gentlemen, it is time again. You already know what it is. It is that time of the season where Arsenal's season is over, where things have finished, where they are now officially out of every remaining trophy that they can get. And you guys already know we're going to cook. We are going to absolutely boil, fry, steam, air fry every single one of these groomers. But before we do that, we must pay tribute with a 10 bell salute. Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Right. Arsenal's UCL hopes are over. They are done for another year. They told us that this was going to be their year just because they beat Real Madrid 3-0. I heard the likes of Igal saying build Arteta a statue because they won 3-0 in the first leg. This is before they even got into the second leg. And all this for what? All this for what? To be out again, to be trophyless again, to be in poor league form at the end of the season, to now be dragged into a top 4 race, and to be out of Europe's premier elite competition for another year. And these bums have the nerve to try and say, London is red. You've done absolutely nothing for this city. What have you done? What do you do? What do you do? I told this to troops. And I told this to Igal. You guys are like Heath Slater in the Royal Rumble when it comes to the Champions League. You lot are there to just make up the numbers, have a nice moment here or there, and then piss off before the main eventers pop in. Because this ain't you. You guys don't understand levels like the medals on the back of my wall. This is why half you man try and take the piss. You're like, oh, you've got medals that you never played for. You've got Arsenal shirts for a team you've never played for. And you see these medals, your club's never touched it. You see that final shirt, you have one of those. We have 3. You have one of them. UCLs, we got 2 of them. You have none. Europa Leagues, we have 2 of them. You have none. Tottenham's about to get a 3rd one. And you don't even have one of them. Have shame. This is the club that's meant to be running London. Disgrace. You can't even run North London the way things are going. Don't you dare let them get that Europa League. I don't even want them to win it, but if they win it, I'm weaponizing it and I'm using it against you guys. Arsenal have failed again in phase 5. And the maddest thing is, right, if we talk about the game, they actually started it pretty well. But the first 15, 20 minutes, all that it did was it yet again showed why Arsenal need a striker. All those crosses that were pretty decent, to be fair, but going to nobody. Going to absolutely nobody. Rice had a very good chance early on in the game. Hit the bar from a header early. Odegaard had a decent chance. Forced a good save from Donnarumma. And Donnarumma, I have to say, from someone that said this guy is a bozo, you did your thing in these 2 legs. You didn't give me anything to worry about. I was worried about you, and you didn't give me anything to be concerned about. So fair play. Fair play, mate. Now, they cooked PSG for the first 15 minutes, but all PSG really had to do was ride that storm and just try and formulate 1 or 2 chances. And Kvaratskhelia, from hitting the post, you could see from that moment PSG's nerves settled a little bit, because this is the impact that Kvaratskhelia has. Kvaratskhelia has absolutely transformed PSG, and he's given them the X factor that that team needs. I'm so annoyed that we didn't get him when the opportunity was there. I think PSG already had him from the summer, but to have a player like him at Chelsea would be an absolute game changer. And that was the difference between PSG and Arsenal. Game changers in the attack. These guys had the likes of Kvaratskhelia, the likes of Doué. thought Barcola did his thing against Lewis Skelly as well. Lewis Skelly weren't ready for that sort of occasion. And I actually won't knock Arteta for starting him in that one because like he was clearly one of the players that probably should have been playing anyway. It's more that everything else, Arteta's got to hold the smoke for everything else, because if we talk about the way he's just managed Arsenal in this entire week, it's a sackable offence. Marino being put back into the midfield, Odegaard lasting 90 minutes in the first leg, throwing a starting 11 out against Bournemouth, making late subs in that game, and then losing that. And then, like, the substitutions in this game, I guess they still were effective, but they were still a bit late. They were still really late. And even then, this is still the squad that you've built. And you still need a striker. Because you put 60 million on Kai Havertz. They told us 60 million down the drain. Now guess who's trophyless again? It ain't us, bruv. It ain't us, because we're winning our UCL. We're winning the Conference League in a month, not even a month, in a couple weeks' time. Now, like we said, PSG grew into the game. Barcola had a good couple of chances. And then Fabian Ruiz with such a brilliant hit. Partey heads the ball out, goes straight into the path of Fabian, and he just belts it into the back of the net. And then that was about it. Also, you could already tell they started to panic a little bit. They were starting to get the ball with heftier touches. They were starting to make more rash decisions on the ball. PSG was starting to completely dominate them on the flanks. And the lucky halftime came when it did. They really are. Second half came in. Saka forced a good save from Donnarumma. And then they got a penalty from, like, Miles Lewis-Skelly literally just having his hand out like this. Vitinha, though, what a disgusting penalty. A goalkeeper like David Raya, who dives early for everything, and you take a slow step up. You take a slow step up and then a hop and a jump. Just lever the ball at him. Just fucking hit it. He'll dive too late anyway. It was so pointless. It was such a dumb pen. But thankfully, Hakimi managed to get the second goal that they should have got from the penalty, which is also very funny because all we heard was Thomas Partey this, Thomas Partey that, and then he was involved in both goals that got conceded. But hey, here we are. Then Saka got one back, kind of looked like a foul in the build-up. And then this happened. I can't lie, maybe this man just ain't good enough for the big moments, innit? Maybe when he's front and center in the spotlight, he doesn't really seem to like it. Doesn't really seem to enjoy moments like this, especially against Donnarumma, by the way. Donnarumma is to him like what Seth Rollins is to Roman Reigns. Just always there for every bit of failure. Every bit of failure, Donnarumma is there with a little smile. And just like him, I'm here with a little smile as well, because you lot have gone trophyless for another year, you absolute scrubs. You guys are about to let Clear Lakes Chelsea win a trophy before you. Scratch that. You lot might let Ange Postecoglou win a trophy before you. You might let Tottenham go 1-1 with Arteta in his time at Arsenal. This is what Phase 5 Arteta is. And the maddest thing is, right, everyone talks about this being the week from hell for Arsenal Football Club because they're getting knocked out, or they have been knocked out. Then they might have to deal with Tottenham and United making the Europa League finals. Then they have to do the Guard of Honor for Liverpool. Stop. Look further than that. Look further than that. Like, look at the fact that they've had 3 league wins in their last 10. They've looked mentally checked out of the Premier League, at least for the last couple weeks. Now they have to get themselves back up again because City and Chelsea are creeping up on them. And they have to go to Anfield, and then they have to play Newcastle at home. I don't think they win either of them. And if they don't win either of them and City win their next 2 games, then City go above them. If they lose both games and we win both our games, then we go above you. Suddenly things got a little bit scary. I know you, man, don't want to be second place. Do you want to be 4th? Behind the Man City team that literally, I think, lost 6 games in a row. Behind the Chelsea side, that I think was probably like 15 points behind them at one point or something stupid like that. You want to let us finish behind you. Phase 1, Enzo Maresca. He's already got the same amount of wins as Arteta this season. Do you want him having the same amount of points or more points? It could be a very, very long summer for you for more reasons than one. And guess what? It couldn't happen to a more intolerable fan base because you lot love taking one step forward and acting like you won the race. You haven't won nothing. You guys haven't won anything for 5 years. All you have is one COVID FA Cup to look back on, and Bukayo Saka barely played a part in that anyway. And you lot want to act like you've done something under Arteta other than just getting to the same point that you were under Arsene Wenger in 2016. Second. What's the point? But what's the point of even trying to talk these Arsenal fans out of it? This is all they know. All they know is overgassing their football club because their football club never actually delivers anything worth gassing in the first place. 20 years I've spent watching this sport. All I've seen this disgusting, overrated institution called Arsenal Football Club winning is FA Cups. And I'm meant to believe that they're a bigger club. This fan base will sit there and tell you that they're a bigger club than Chelsea, while the same fans that say that have seen Chelsea win more trophies in their lifetime than Arsenal. Figure that one out. But you can't really figure out Arsenal fans like that still. You can't. PSG, though, have to give you credit. This is the best mentality I've seen from a PSG side ever. Ever. And the quality around the entire pitch is astounding. Really is. I've only seen a few games from them, but I've been impressed in nearly every game that I've watched. So much quality in the attacking flanks. A midfield that don't need PNP to boss you about. It just needs the ball to do that. And a back line that hasn't really given me any bozo moments. Surprisingly. But, hey, Arsenal, you lot stink. And you lot are going trophyless again. Remember what a real fucking European giant is, and it isn't you. We've dominated this sport. You guys haven't. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Big up every single one of you that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that crap. And I'll have to go smoke my Arsenal pack. Up the Chelsea.